depends on how you would meditate. I think in terms of a spiritual kind of aspect of music, I think John Coltrane was as powerful as music was. It also came from a deep meditative place and spiritual place. And it's often been said that the term "om," that he put the "om" back into music. In terms of the meditation aspect of it, I thought about that also, and it inspired me to make a couple of CDs regarding that. And the basis of that was to make some music that would really help relieve the stress of everyday life that we experience in the world. So I think we need a place where, if we're going to listen to music, you take this music to help you go to a deeper place, meditative place, relax and go and that was a sort of what do you call it, an offering, if you will, to people who are looking for something like that. Yoga, things like that. But also, music that we play sometimes. We get into talk about gurus, we get into sort of meditative states in our live performances, particularly live performances like Jerome, who sings, and also does some of the true overtone throat singing. And so we actually utilize that meditative state when we play. It's really relaxing and also energizing as well.
You mentioned overtones and throat singing. Have you listened to throat singing from Tuna? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you like different kinds of traditional music also? Is there some kind of traditional music that you particularly like, and is it some kind of inspiration for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, African music, Brazilian music, Spanish music, like I said, Afro-Cuban, blues, gospel, just to name a few.
Well, I guess for me, I've studied a lot of salsa and merengue, and then I had, a long period where I was playing Eastern European music, kind of Jewish music and Romanian music and stuff like that. But when we were studying that, we were also studying, Bulgarian music and Romanian music, the kind of non-Jewish European things that those musics came from. And, also I've done a lot of just looking at the influence of gypsy music on classical music and things like that. So I've spent a fair amount of time looking at a lot of different ethnic things. I think it's, when I was younger, I used to see a lot of African American musicians that were very well trained. They'd be in Latin bands and bring a different flavor to it. And then the first time I heard Dewey Redman, he was playing musette, this kind of Middle Eastern instrument. I was really impressed by that. I was really impressed that he had got in there with that. That he was actually thinking about something other than just doing what was expected. And that before people were talking about world music, that we as African American musicians could be world music participants outside of just the things that we were expected to do. And I think, Dewey really was a big influence on me in that way. I really respected him for that.
So some of the music traditions that speak deeply to me, I find myself liking a lot of music from Mali, from that West African countries. There's various Celtic musics, the Scottish, Irish, folk traditions that I like. I should say that I think I know what you mean when you said traditional music, but to me, all music is traditional. I mean, every music comes from people, has history, sometimes very short histories, other times very long histories, sometimes histories that are very tied tightly to a particular place and time, and others that are less tightly tied in that way. And some traditions that are very codified, they've set up institutions, a lot of debate and introspection about, okay, what is the proper way to do this, or these lines of influence that are well documented and you can trace and people are taught. And then other traditions are more folk traditions, more vernacular traditions, more you got to be in that area with those people to kind of get insight into what they do, and it may not be written down, what they do. And so it's very much person transmitting to person, and kind of more loosely structured in that way. I mean, European classical music is a traditional. It means a bunch of traditions. African American music is a bunch of traditions. The whole gospel tradition is a very particular stream which has relations to the blues stream and has relations to so I kind of sometimes when people say traditional music, I ask myself, I know what I mean by that, but I wonder what they mean by that term.
Traditional in relation to classical Western European music. Classical musical tradition of West Europe